My name is Elias. I am 34 years old. I want to tell you about my first night of marriage. I have kept this story quiet for a long time. I kept it inside me. Tonight, I let it speak. I am a simple man. I wake early, I make coffee, I wash my cup, I check the window. I like small habits. They make the day feel safe. Before I married, my life moved in a straight line. Work, bus, home, dinner, sleep. It was not bad. It was just quiet. I met my wife, Mara, in a normal place. It was a small office party. There was music, but it was low. There was cake on a white plate. She stood near the window. She looked outside like she was counting the lights. I noticed her hands. They were calm. I noticed her smile. It was slow. We talked about small things: coffee, rain, the bus being late. I did not feel fireworks. I felt ease. I felt my shoulders drop. I felt like I could breathe. We met again, then again. We walked after work. We shared bread from the same bag. She laughed at my quiet jokes. I listened to her stories. She talked about her mother's garden. She talked about losing her father early. When she spoke, I stayed still. I wanted to hold the words gently. Time passed. We did not rush. We did not promise big things. We promised to meet. We promised to be honest. One night, I asked her to marry me. My hands shook. My voice was low. She looked at me for a long moment. Then she said yes. Just yes. It felt enough. The wedding day came. There were chairs, there were flowers, there were people who knew us and people who did not. I wore a suit that felt stiff. She wore a dress that moved like air. When we stood together, I felt tall. I felt small. I felt full. Then the night came, our first night as husband and wife. We went to a small room in a quiet hotel. The door closed with a soft sound. The city lights blinked through the curtain. I sat on the edge of the bed. She took off her shoes. She smiled, but her smile was careful. My heart moved fast. My mind moved fast. I thought love should be loud. I thought romance should burn bright. I thought I should know what to do. I did not know. There was silence. Not a bad silence, just a new one. I heard the clock. I heard my breath. I felt my hands grow warm. She sat beside me. Our knees touched. We both noticed. We both waited. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to give her a night she would remember forever. The want made me tight. The want made me quiet. She looked at me. Her eyes were kind. She reached for my hand. Her fingers were cool, then warm. She said my name, just my name. In that moment, I understood something small and big at the same time. Romance is not a show. Marriage is not a test. Love does not ask you to perform. Love asks you to stay. I took a breath. I let my shoulders fall. I told her I was scared. I told her I did not want to rush. I told her I wanted to be true. My voice was not smooth. It was real. She nodded. She leaned her head on my shoulder. We sat like that for a long time. The clock kept moving. The city kept blinking. Nothing broke. Nothing failed. We talked softly about our day, about the cake, about her shoes hurting, about my tie being too tight. We laughed. The laughter was gentle. It did not push. It did not pull. Later, we lay down. The light was low. The room felt smaller, safer. I felt her breathing slow. I felt my breathing match hers. Our hands met again. Easy this time. I did not need to prove anything. I did not need to hurry. I did not need to be someone else. I was her husband. She was my wife. That was enough. The night moved on. I do not need to tell every detail. What matters is how I felt inside. I felt chosen. I felt seen. I felt calm in a new way. Morning came. Pale light, quiet street sounds. She slept beside me. Her hair fell across her face. I watched her breathe. I felt a deep peace in my chest. I got up and made coffee with the small machine by the window. The cups were thin. The coffee was weak. It tasted good. I brought a cup back to the bed. She smiled with sleepy eyes. That first night did not shout. It did not burn. It rested. It held us. Time taught me that romance can be soft and still strong. Now, years later, I think of that night when life feels loud, when work is heavy, when words fail. I remember the quiet room, the gentle hands, the truth spoken in a low voice. My first night was not about doing. It was about being. Like a light left on in a small room, it did not blind me. It let me see.